What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Put in the Book show. This is season number 2, episode 26. And if we look a little weird today, it is a little weird because there is no third guy over here. Rodriguez, to my right, is not going to answer me today, Keith.
Oh, well, we're just going to address Beltron. So, Rodriguez, if you're watching, today you are Beltron. Is that Beltron?
Beltron's right here. Next to my great beer, my beer for today. This is the first time I'm drinking beer on the show. And it is Dragon's Milk.
Milk of the Ween.
Milk of the Ween. Roasted, malty, smooth, 11% alcohol. And it is quite tasty. It's a Holland brew.
Yeah, I'm not into the stout beer too much. Let's talk about anything but Mets.
Yeah.
So how was your weekend? You did good?
My weekend, that's a long time ago already.
It is.
I forgot what I did on the weekend.
Yeah, I did 3 losses on the weekend. How about you?
Yeah. And in how many innings, Joe?
47.
3 losses, 47 innings. Fantastic.
Let's jump right into it, bro.
Let's jump into it. Let's hit the theme music. Why don't you hit that Brody sound real quick?
I look forward to showing people that we're a team to be reckoned with, and let's not be shy about wanting to be the best. And I fully expect us to be competitive and to be a winning team. And our goal is to win a championship, and it starts with the division. So come get us.
I like mustard on my biscuits, I reckon.
Come get us. Come get us.
That was
Indeed,
a complete fail.
They did.
What a freaking fail. Oh, my God. I remember when we first started this preseason, what is now a fiasco, and Brody came in. Rodriguez named him Brody Van Wagon It because of his swagger. But this guy has I'm not going to fault him 100%, but he has not done what he promised to do. I will say that.
Well, yeah. And as I was looking through some videos to, some sound for the show today, one of the next videos after that was the introductory press conference of Jed's dad, Jed Lowry, who has not played a single season, a single inning a single out for us. And so Come Get Us has turned into a 47-55 mark on July 25th.
As a matter of fact, we signed for a 2-year contract. 36 years old, I think Jed is. A 36-year-old, what would have been a utility player, to a 2-year contract who has progressive injuries. It started with a knee, then it was behind the knee, then it was a hamstring. Now it's something with his hip. And the last word was, it's just his whole right side or something.
It's just,
I mean,
what is going on?
What is happening? It's like progressively worse, and the guy's not even playing baseball. So that was a complete disaster.
He's got a full-on degenerative body.
Then, of course, the whole heel of double heel of Cespedes, who, by the way, is signed next year too. Yeah, he's signed next year too. This is going to turn into like a no-focus tirade rant Met show because it's freaking ridiculous. Joe's telling me to move along. No, we suck, Joe. Joe just don't want to hear it. We suck. But you know what? We got a chance. We're only 8 games out.
How many games out of the wild card are we now?
It was 8 before today's game. I don't know what today's game did.
It was 5 last week on our show. 5. So last week we had. So figure this one out. So.
Riddle me this, Batman.
Riddle me this. Last week, we had at the start of the show, we had the second worst record in the National League, and we were 5 games out of the wild card. Now, we have the 4th worst record in the National League, and we're 8 games out.
Because Philadelphia won their last 3 in a row.
Screw Philadelphia.
Brian Hom sucks.
Screw you, Brian Hom.
Brian Hom sucks.
You said it, kiddo.
About. All right, so we have a lot of stuff to talk about. So let's get into it. One of the things that we got to start talking about now is it's selling season, right? It's wabbit season, duck season, selling season.
So I want to say yes, selling season. Last week we're 5 games out. We have a good stretch. 4 games against a team that's in front of us in a wild card. We can really do something here. Done.
And to their credit, the Giants have caught fire. They've turned themselves from sellers to, kind of
At our expense.
At our expense. Well, they had beaten Colorado, I think, 3 out of 4 before us. Also.
Here's the thing: we're not a winning team. A winning team, a team who has the heart and the fire to win, would have went in there at least 2 games or taken 3. We just don't have it. Yeah, we won a series. Let's get happy. Lose the next 3. We're just not a good team.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good aspects to our team. There's a lot of things we can build off of, but we're just not a good team.
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but
and I just want to say, for those of you who are watching on other groups that this was shared to, if you are not following this group, we won't be able to see your comments.
What's wrong with you?
I'm seeing that weekly. I'm seeing good, fun comments, interactive stuff. But if you're not following us here and you're not commenting on the video that we're sharing directly, we won't see them as it's happening. So go ahead and do that. Start following us. Join this group. You're a part of many other great, phenomenal Mets groups, but this is the one to join if you want to watch this live and interact with us at the same time, and have a chance. Boom. And have a chance to win one of what today we have 3 Pete Alonso cards. In the next few weeks, we hope to have a 4th again.
unless one goes today, then we'll be back to 2 to 3.
Correct.
Yes.
There's mathematical equations going on all over the place. But if you want, you call us in at any time. We'll say 718-577-1275 is the number to call us. My buddy Keith to my left, who is here today, will read you a very difficult question. Mets trivia, and you'll have about 10 seconds to answer, and then you can choose which card you want if you get that answer correct. So there's my spiel on that. Let's get to last week at some point I had started talking about why would we bother selling if we're going to be selling a Todd Frazier, who we're not going to get much back for, a Vargas, who we're not going to get much back for, the expiring contracts. Lagares, who be lucky to get a Pete Alonso baseball card for. Pete Alonso's baseball card worth more than Lagares right now.
Yeah. Lagares been spending the season on the interstate.
I don't want to ever see Lagares ever again.
But he's got a glove, though.
Stop it. Why bother doing that if, we're going to not get anything back? But now you're starting to hear, at the time Zach Wheeler was hurt, we were really not sure what was going to happen with that. He'll be back to start tomorrow against the Pirates. And so he's got a chance. We might not get as much as we would have gotten for him before his shoulder fatigue, because you just don't know that, when the buyers are trying to get guys like Zach Wheeler, it's not just for the next 2 months. They want him to pitch well into the postseason. So you got to, figure out what you would be okay with giving up for not just a rental for the end of the year, regular season, but envisioning a deep run into the playoffs. So what we get for him, don't know. The bidding is getting out there, but today on my way to the Studio 5, got some information stating that the Mets are now intent. There's a big shift in what the thought process was, last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, for, even last offseason, is that the Mets are now intent on trading Noah Syndergaard.
Intent's a powerful word. I mean, we discussed this. We had a little discussion before the show right on that topic. And I think any player that we have control over, we should not trade. I mean, and Noah, we still got a year of control with him. I think trading him is a mistake. I think we should trade anybody who's a potential free agent at the end of the year, or somebody that we just don't see in our future. like a Lagares. Well, Lagares is a free agent anyway,
Yeah,
but
he's a free agent.
nobody's going to take Lagares, so take that out of my head. But I think trading Diaz has been a talk. There's been a lot of talk about Diaz being traded. He's on the
sprung
market
up yesterday.
before the line drive off his toe. But I don't know if MRI results came back or not. So depending on that,
he's good.
So he may still get traded.
Mm-hmm.
But we have this kid. He under control for 4. Yes, he's having a terrible year. But when he pitched last year with Seattle, he was amazing, and that was against a tough division. So he's got potential. So trading a kid that young, who you can build a bullpen around, and you have 4 years of control over. He's not even arbitration eligible. I mean, I think you got to be a numbskull to do that.
Numbskull.
Brody.
Like the way we worked that word in there.
Yeah, you like that?
That is the word of the day, numbskull.
You're a numbskull, huh? I think you got to be out of your freaking mind. I mean, come on. I'm just saying, like, and it depends. So if they're willing to give us their top pitching prospect who is ready to break for the majors, okay, but nobody's going to do that. And one of the teams that they're talking about are the Dodgers. No, don't trade him to the Dodgers. Screw you, Dodgers. I freaking hate the Dodgers. Why do we want to secure their future with a kid who they'll have control over for the next 4 years, who throws 99 and had 40 some odd saves last year? Why would you want to do that? Who in their right mind?
Yep.
So that's my take. I mean, philosophy, you have control over them. You can build on them, keep them. Everybody else.
Yeah, I guess the problem with trading Asuka, which I haven't called him that for a while, but I think the other problem with that is, you made good points there, but if you combine it with the trade that we got to get him, now it'll be, whatever prospects we get for him and Robinson Cano for Jay Bruce, Kelenic, who else are we trading that? Bruce,
Kelenic,
Swarzak.
Yeah,
it feels as though we lose that trade. We now lose it if you combine the two, because you turn that into, you took Cano on for the best reliever the best closer in baseball, which he has not been this year.
By far, he has not.
But the potential is still there. He's done it. So so there's a couple different sides to this. So do you want to get stuck in the rut of trading off just your potential free agents when you have won 70 games a year? I'm exaggerating, 70, 75, since going to the wild card game in 2016, or are you going to go into a deep dive rebuild mode, which is not what Brody promised us?
A la Marlowe's. No, he did not. I will say Brody has been building up the minor, so I get maybe he feels confident in the ability to trade some of our major league talent right now. But that is the question. Are you giving up totally on next year as well, or just this year? Because if you're giving up on this and next year and saying we're in a X amount of year building plan, then I can say, okay, well, trade Noah. I see how that happens. What do you get for him? But if you are planning on, like Brody promised us, being competitive now and in the future, that's not what you do. You don't trade Noah. You don't trade Diaz. You don't. Those are the players you build around. Even though Noah has sucked it up, and facts are facts, he's been inconsistent at best. I mean, his last 7 games, he's pitching the 3.43 ERA. Okay, he's come back, but for the season, he's at 4.33 ERA, which doesn't sound as bad as my mind has painted his performance. In my mind, he's a 5 some odd ERA. He's been inconsistent.
It's because those games that he got bombed really stick out.
It does, yeah.
But at the same point, DeGrom has gotten bombed a couple times this year, and his ERA is now sub-3.
But DeGrom is
and he's still a game under 500. And
DeGrom is an extremely intelligent pitcher. DeGrom knows what he has, knows what's working, what's not working, and he works with whatever his best pitch is for that day. Noah has a plan. He sticks to it. And if it's not working, he sticks to it. It's like, Rodriguez puts it best a lot. Throw inside, big guy. What are you doing? Rodriguez preaches it constantly. Throw inside, big guy. What are you doing? He's trying to paint corners. He's 6 foot something. He's tall. He's big.
He's a tall guy.
He can throw really hard. Why are you throwing outside? He needs outlighter. I'm going back to that. He needs outlighter. Outlighter to me, and outlighter wasn't even the hardest throw, but his ball.
What about his ball?
Ta-da! His Benoit balls, his pitch came across the plate really heavy.
Heavy.
You like how he changed that, right? To his pitch?
Ball was heavy.
His balls were heavy. And he would break bats. He jammed batters. He battled. Thor, he's trying to pitch like Maddox with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yep.
What are you doing, dude? That's not what you got.
And so you see DeGrom in his last 7 games pitching to a 1.94, his last 15, 2.53. Even his last, for the season now, he's at 2.86. And he started off the season with that shellacking that he got from Minnesota.
Yeah.
On that rainy night. We weren't sure if he was healthy or not. And
his
so
elbow was barking.
Oh my
God.
It was barking. But I want to take something that you just said a few minutes ago, and it's a smooth transition because you were talking about how Brody has restocked the system.
Mm-hmm.
So as of this week, where do you think our farm system ranks out of the 30 teams?
Out of the 30 teams, you want specific, or
I have the number where they're ranked.
I'm gonna say probably somewhere between 15 and 20.
They are ranked 26th.
Oh, that bad?
Their farm system I'm turning on them right now. Our farm system is ranked 26th in baseball. As of last week, it was 19th. And so Michael K.
No, dude.
What did I just do?
You just ruined my life. Anthony
K. So sorry.
Anthony K.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well deserved there. Anthony K. Was dropped from. He was ranked 80th overall in baseball, farm system wise, and now he's out of the top 100.
So, can I stop you there for a second?
Yeah, of course.
Anthony K was killing it in AA, comes up to AAA, struggles a little bit, and drops to 100. And I get it because they're basing it off of his performance and his peers. I say peers. I'm too much in the corporate world. But they're basing it off people on his level. So it makes sense that they dropped him. And it makes sense for those sort of reasons. Our ranking is 26. But I don't think that really tells the tale of what our minor league system is. Anybody who comes up a level is going to struggle a little first. It's just how it is. Even Alonso, when he came up last year, struggled a little bit. All of us knew he was going to be okay. But, you struggle when you go to that next level. Until...
Is this current, Joe?
What's that?
Is that current?
I'm on Bleacher Report, and this report is from mid-June.
Okay, this is from...
Mid-June, they had him at 15.
And I think it's because of K. This is Baseball America ranking.
Okay.
More
current, I'm sure.
Yeah, and this is as of today. Okay. And so scroll up a little bit because I wanted to see where... keep scrolling. So you had go to nope, too far again. Scroll
right
to the
underneath
Mets.
Anthony K. Anthony K.
That's not the Mets. Nope. There we go. There, right there. Okay, so Jimenez was ranked as a top 50 guy. He is now ranked at 71. Ronnie Mauricio, who is a tier 2. He was our third ranked prospect, and he has surpassed Andres Jimenez, and he's at number 62 overall. So out of the top 100 prospects in baseball, the Mets have 2.
He was an international signing, right?
Mauricio?
Yeah.
Yes.
So a lot of the people he picked up and drafted, he did this year, like that kid right there, Brett Beatty. Vientos, he got this year, I think, as well. I'm not sure if anyone of the Josh Wolf too. So and Allen. So you got to keep in mind that he pulled in some good talent that have potential to break the 100, but they just came to the team.
Yep.
You can't say his drafts are bad. He's not helping the minors.
It
takes a couple years.
Yeah, of course. So
okay.
This is still coming from Sandy.
Right.
This is still Sandy Alderson's farm system.
So let's be fair. Rosario came out of the farm. Conforto came out of the farm. McNeil came out of the farm. Dom Smith came out of the farm. So we also depleted a lot of Big Pete. Right. Yeah. How could I even forget that? It's our best player on the team right now. We depleted a lot of the talent from the farm in recent 2 to 3 years. So in fairness to Sandy didn't do a bad job drafting. He really didn't. And even further going back,
he did give Lagares his contract.
Oh, Sandy, you suck, dude. Yeah. Somebody mentioned the Luis Castillo pop-up in Yankee Stadium the other day, and I was like, why would you do that? You just ruined my life. So now I just want to make you guys
Wasn't
suffer
Tim posted that?
Or was it him?
I don't know.
Somebody did.
All right, so before before our next show, we will know what's going to happen. Our next show will be next Thursday, and we'll know there. I will say that if Thor does get traded, I'm going to blame myself, because this guy right here, I bought this little figure bobblehead guy. This is Odell Beckham Jr. Several months later, he was traded.
Odell,
couple months ago, I got this Noah Syndergaard bobblehead.
Stop buying bobbleheads.
And
Spider-Man's still a Marvel, right? He hasn't gone to DC. Didn't trade it.
No.
All right, good.
But what won't happen is Noah won't badmouth the Mets like this guy's been badmouthing the Giants. But that's for another show.
What's that show called?
That show is called We Stomped You Out.
Boom.
And Steve Rogers, who when we shared out that there was going to be a show tonight, he said, I'm already in the We Stomped You Out mode. So he's getting getting the juices flowing for that. We have to start talking about a debut episode for that.
And we've talked about this before, offline or off the air or off the stream or
off the cuff,
off this thing. But one of the hardest things as a Met fan is being consistent on a show like this, because normally in the past, I will watch with one eye open once the season takes this kind of turn. Like I'll watch a game, but I'm not going to get into all the articles. I'm not going to dive into all the stats. I'll just watch the game to enjoy a baseball game, which so happens to be the Mets, who I love. But part of being on the show, I have to dive into the torture. So all of you better freaking appreciate the fact that I suffer to bring you this show.
And it's a good point. Last night I did a show with Kyle and
I saw that pop up. I didn't get a chance to hear it.
And Gilberto. We did a little mini episode about Comic-Con, and I was trying to keep up with what was going on with the game at the same time as doing the show. It was just a strictly audio show, and that's on the Cine Sports Talk Radio Network, where you can listen to us later on. But I was trying to follow along, and then in our group chat with Keith, myself, producer Joe, Steve, and Rodriguez, and Keith sends a text in there with the F-bomb, and I'm like, what? Now I'm going to turn on this game. And I turn on the game in the 8th inning, and the Padres had just finished scoring like 3 more runs. What was the final score yesterday? 7-2? So, yeah, 7-2. So it was 4-2, and I was trying to rush through the end of that show, and that's when the F-bomb came through, and then I turned it on, and they had scored 3 runs.
The F-bomb came where we had the bases loaded, 2 outs. It was 4-2. We were down, and they won the only. Michael Conforto comes up, and he starts chasing pitches outside off the plate and strikes out with the bases loaded. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. And I'm outside, and so I just said, as they say on the Christmas Story, "Oh, fudge."
Yeah,
But it was really not fudge. It was something else I said.
it was. I'll post it later.
I put a lot of U's. I stretched it out.
It was definitely stretched out.
Yeah.
Fudgesicle. Before we go any further, we want to wish Doc best of luck. Going to get some help. He's been arrested a couple times in the last few months. Most recently, the other day, driving while intoxicated. And his wife did an interview with the Post.
She did.
A small interview where she said, Dwight just came out and said, "I'm sick and tired of these demons. I got to get help."
So I see, and just a little quick thing, and I've seen a lot of people negatively commenting or making light, and I get it. I make light of a funeral,
everything.
but and I don't struggle with that kind of addiction. So thank you God, but give the guy a break. He put himself in that rehab. Addiction sucks. I've seen it. I've experienced it with friends, and I'm glad that he's getting some help. Because he's going to die if he don't do it. He's going to die, and there's really no two ways about it.
Could have died in that situation. I didn't even
or
realize.
He could have killed somebody else.
I didn't know that he was driving the wrong side, down the wrong way on a one-way street.
Well, it's all perspective, right way, wrong way.
Yeah, of course, yeah. There's pavement drive.
But I mean, and quite honestly, thank God he didn't kill anybody else, because he could have killed on the wrong. I mean, how many right here in Sawgrass or even in Long Island on these
LA?
over by Jones Beach. Yeah, people driving the wrong way. I mean, it's scary. So good luck, Doc. Wish you the best, bro. As a matter of fact, Faraci and I met Doc. We're like best friends with him now.
We should go see him.
We should. He doesn't know we're best friends with him, but we are.
As soon as he sees the look in my eyes,
he'll
realize
yes,
that we're best friends. He just doesn't know it. Welcome to everybody who's joined in. I've seen that number jump up and come back down and a couple times. And again, I noticed this last episode where people were commenting on other groups, which is all fine. We just can't see it as it's happening live. So if you want to interact, then you got to join our group and watch the feed from our group.
As a matter of fact, if you do that,
if
you do that, you'll within our comments, you'll see the phone number, which is 718-577-1275. Call in, answer a trivia question, and have a chance to win a Pete Alonso Tops Now card.
Tops Now. Speak of the devil, Steve Rogers has joined us.
What's
we're
up,
just
Steve?
talking about you, how you mentioned the We Stomped You Out show, which you're getting ready for, fantasy football. All that good stuff's going to start back up really soon here. Hello, Adriana, my wife. Wandy is here. Pierline is here. Tim, Kat, welcome. So let's get to something a little bit more with a little bit more levity here. In the last few days, we've seen ads pop up on the foul poles.
Woo! So, did you see the link that I sent you with the view of that ad?
Yeah.
Would you not be pissed off if you sat?
So without getting political, in this political environment. So the ads are for Chick-fil-A.
Was it Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A.
I thought it was Crazy Chicken Fair.
Chick-fil-A.
It is that's Chick-fil-A for sure?
It said on the side, it says Chick-fil-A.
Oh, it does. I thought it said Crazy Chicken Fair. I guess that's something to do with them.
Maybe. So it's for Chick-fil-A, and very soon the Mets did something really good, and they're having an LGBT night, and those two kind of clash. So for two reasons, there's a view, and they have an upcoming event that will clash with that. Probably should take that down. Producer Joe, what's your take on those lovely, lovely ads on the foul pole?
Too much.
Too much. And And when they show the side view of it, it's they show Coca-Cola corner, Coca-Cola Pepsi porch. I missed Pepsi porch, but Coca-Cola corner. And if you see the view, you could see it's just right in the way, right down that line, and your view all the way down the baseline is blocked.
It's okay. So this is how I explained it when I sent it to you. Like, what is it? And I'm like, they need to remove it. I hate it. I just hate it. It just looks like I know they paste advertisement everywhere, and I can live with that. But for some reason, when that ball's heading down the line, you see it just, and it's in fair territory, right?
I don't remember now.
It looks stupid.
But,
and if you had those seats and suddenly you can't see because there's a sign that runs down the pole in front of you, you're going to be pissed. It's not fair. You expect the foul pole there when you sit there, not an additional 2 feet of sign in a way. It just...
Steve Rogers telling us that they also have those in Houston and Cobb County. That's Georgia.
Really? So that's going to be the new thing, I guess.
Atlanta. Cobb County, Georgia. Reason I know that is because of the Big Boss Man.
I mean, that's prime. I just thought about the Big Boss Man song. That's prime real estate as far as advertisement goes. I mean, how many times is that going to be on air?
Yep.
Right. It's almost. It's probably second behind home plate advertising, but it's just. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I think it's. Mostly because it interferes with the sight of the game from the fans sitting in the stands. And to me, other than, of course, everything else that goes around it, the sitting in the stands at a ball game is a special thing. It's something that you never forget. It's something that you pass down to your children. It's something you do with your family, your friends. It's a celebratory moment. And then you get these seats, and all of a sudden it's blocked because there's a sign in front of you, and you can't see crap.
And they're not cheap seats.
They're
There's
not.
Not a
Right?
cheap seat in that building.
No, you're gonna pay $60 for a seat, and also you can't see the game.
Steve Rogers says Mets are doing hard times. Big Boss Man.
Yes.
All right. Let's get earlier than normal. Let's get into the Mets moment of the week. But before we hit play on that, there is some foul language in this one, and I chose it because I feel like using foul language. So if there's any kids out there, cover the ears.
And now it's time for the Mets moment of the week.
I like the way an 8-year-old, soon-to-be 8-year-old kid is introducing this particular clip, and I chose it because of the fact that I heard today about the Noah, the Mets being intent now on trading Noah Syndergaard, and this is one of the bigger, bubble moments for Noah Syndergaard as a Met. And this is when he threw behind Chase Utley.
You're done. I mean, you can't do that. Not in that situation, man. You can't not ain't gonna happen. I mean, I knew you were gonna say that, but that ain't gonna happen. I mean, that's the wrong time to do it. That's all. I'm telling you. Well, it is what it is, but that ain't gonna happen. Our ass is in the jackpot. We don't do something there. I'm just telling you that. Shouldn't there be no, I mean, okay, the situation of what happened and everything else, that's what dictates that, okay?
But there was no prior knowledge that before the game started. I mean, Terry comes into the dugout and says, hey, it's something to hit.
Everybody knows what's the situation, okay?
Here comes Terry.
Terry, shut up, get your own Terry, get a handle.
Get him, Terry.
Come on, talk to me. Talk to me. Tell me that fucking bullshit. Then you talk to me about that. You gotta give us a shot. You know what? You gotta give us a shot. Listen to me. Let me hear what I'm saying, okay? You get your shot. You have your shot right there. In the situation. You know the situation, Terry. Why do you get shot, Terry? Because that makes it worse. Terry, that makes it fucking worse. I know. The MLB did nothing to that gun. Nothing. Okay, I can't control that, Terry. I can't control that. You know what's
Makes me
all
miss
that,
Terry.
Terry, you know where I stand on the whole fucking situation. But that's
You're better than that, Tony. You know that.
Terry, listen, I'm telling you, our ass is in the jackpot now. Okay? Okay, I'm just telling you. Fucking motherfucker. You know what? That's what you got. You got it. You got everything out?
And that is probably the most interesting leaked, audio that I've ever heard. And if you haven't seen the video for it, it is intense. It's back from 2016 when Thor threw behind Chase Utley for that dirty, disgusting slide that he had in the 2015 playoffs and broke your boy Ruben Tejada's leg.
My boy.
And so he throws behind him, and out comes Terry, and then Thor is like, I didn't do anything. What's wrong with that? I was just trying to throw a fastball, basically. And then Terry comes out. He's got to be restrained from the home plate umpire. And then the umpire who winds up arguing with him at the end is just taking it. He's like, all right, get it all out, And then Terry says, Major League Baseball did nothing to Utley for that, what he did. And the umpire basically says, my feelings on that, basically meaning I agree with you. Something should have been done to Utley. But that, along with the 60 feet 6 inches, that brilliant shutout, I think it was end of last year. I know it was a meaningless game. You preached that it was a meaningless game, but it was a brilliant shutout of the Giants last year at the tail end. Those are, Thor's moments as a Met, and now it seems as though we could be down to the last 6 days of Thor as a Met, potentially. Rumor has it. You need a moment to digest that?
I do, because from two fronts. One, you mentioned the moments, so a lot of memories come to mind with Thor, which also sparks a lot of emotions. Because let's face it, as fans, not only for the team but the individual players, you grow fond of, and if they depart from the team, it sucks. But even more so if they're ripped from the team by a punk jackass GM who signed Jed Lowry. It's even worse. Did I say that out loud?
A little bit.
A little bit. But somebody like Thor, he's kind of woven into the fabric of the Mets right now, because he may not be performing that way, but he is part of the heart of the team. And if he was traded, it would suck. That's really the only way to put it. I would just hope that if that's the route, we rip off whichever team he goes to and take their farm.
They cannot trade Thor unless it's $1.50, $2 on the dollar.
Yeah, no, and I'll say the same for Diaz. We better. I would want, especially the Dodgers. No, give us your top pitching prospect and your lower level.
I don't even know why the Dodgers need him. They got Jansen out there
because they are the Yankees of the National League. They want everything. Correct. And
but they do have, to their credit, they do have a lot of homegrown guys.
So
Yankees do now too.
Yeah, and the Yankees championships were built over, Bernie Williams, Dirk Diggler, Derek Jeter. Okay. I just no, don't trade Thor.
Again, a final thought on the trade stuff is that the one guy, and I've said this a couple times, that I'm okay with trade. If we're going to trade somebody, it's Wheeler, and it's because he has not had his Mets moment. He, Matt's had his Mets moment game one, and he's said that I'll sacrifice, I'll go to the bullpen. He's been a team guy. Wheeler, when they talked about the contract extension, they talked about not taking not giving a hometown discount. So that left a sour taste in my mouth. Wheeler's been very inconsistent outside of second half of last year. Thor still, even though he's been inconsistent this year, Still a career 3.21 ERA.
Yep.
Very, very solid. I mean, you can't get ask for much more than that.
He's still getting Ks too.
His last 3 starts is 8, 8, and 9 strikeouts, 7 innings each time out, 3 runs or less. So at least three straight quality starts. I can't see any more than that. But it would definitely be a blow to us. You know, he's been the team guy. He's that guy who can joke around. He's that guy, and he even had his Mets moment even before he burst on the scene. It was a negative Mets moment. He was eating lunch at a spring training game.
Oh
in the dugout,
my goodness!
And David Wright took it and chucked it. But he respected David Wright for it, and he became a respectful guy.
You remember that?
I remember that, man.
That was 2015, right?
That was before that, because then was it 2015?
I think it was 2013.
2013, 2014-ish. All right, so you just mentioned something a couple minutes ago, and it's a topic that producer Joe brought up. And it is, so the question is, do we hate the Yankees or do we hate the fan base?
Who's Dewey from?
Don't Dewey that.
All right. Both. I'm gonna say both, definite. Without.
We should record that. Make that as a sound effect.
Both because. They're a pretentious organization and their fans are obnoxious.
Yeah, the fans are obnoxious, but what you're calling a pretentious organization is just an organization that has been consistently successful, consistently willing to spend the money.
I'm allowed to hate them off jealousy, Joe.
I'm pointing it out because my brother is a huge Yankee fan, and he is not your typical obnoxious Yankee fan, 27 rings. And
so he's kind of like Tim.
The more I talk to him, the more I'm like, you know what? It's hard for me to really hate them as much because I think it's the fans that make me hate the Yankees. I mean, yeah. I think it's the 27 fans
it's not just that. It's the 22-year-old 27 rings guys.
Yeah.
What, number one, how many were alive for it? Number two, how many of those rings came when there were like 6 teams in all of baseball?
Well, see, I know Tim for a fact suffered through the crappy 80s, and he was there through the championships in the 90s. So, and 2001, because 2000 happened. 2000, whatever that
2000 was us. Yeah. 2001 was the Diamondbacks.
So Tim's been there. I know that. But right, so you got your younger fans who are 22. They don't remember crap from the 90s. They were just born.
Yeah.
You know, so that is annoying. And the reason why I say the organization is pretentious, yes, of course, I wish we won the way they do. But I also think they are. It's hard to put in words. You know, if you just really, from a Met fan perspective, watch them. You got this guy like Brett Gardner. You got. Going way back into the 80s where they gave Mattingly a hard time because he wanted to have a mullet. I mean, who wants to have a mullet anyway? But if you're Don Mattingly, give the guy a mullet. Let him have it. You know, these type of things.
He was the face of the team.
Yeah, so these type of things. And that's just 2 examples. I'm not going to run on about it. Or why I feel they're a little pretentious sometimes, you know. And I think they're full of roids. I'm going to be honest. I think this team right now is full of roids. I mean, I see roid rage all over that. You got the land of the Giants in the outfield. And I don't mean like the San Francisco or New York Giants. I mean like, your Lord of the Rings Giants, Like something's going on out there.
Yeah. I read an interesting article today because they were talking about how, the Yankees wanting Thor or Wheeler. And what they were talking about is, during the 57 years that the Mets and the Yankees have been together in New York, they've pulled out 15 trades, mostly minor things. There was a lull in there, when Steinbrenner was there and whatnot. And they talked about how Steinbrenner was like, I do not want to share the city with this team. I want that back page every single day. But then, I didn't know this, but Steinbrenner and Fred Wilpon became friends. and that kind of all died down.
Really?
I was completely unaware, and then I got a little upset with Fred. You know, we're buddies with Fred.
It's my pal.
Yeah,
We have intimate pictures with
we
him.
do have pictures with Fred.
Intimate pictures. I don't mean sexually for you dirty people out there.
But it's just interesting, and you know the some of the bigger trades that were made. I completely forgot we traded Robin Ventura to the Yankees. That first year he hit 27 home runs. But the other part to that story that I read was that, and this could be part of this discussion also, the Mets fans' hatred of the Yankees, in it that they can turn their middling prospects, and one scenario was the catcher Montero that they had, and scouts were down on him, and they got back a top tier. What was then a top-tier free pitching prospect in Michael Pineda.
Their GM.
Mr. Dirty Substance in the back of his neck.
Who's the GM? Cashman?
And they got well more. And Montero developed into nothing.
Nobody really talks about Cashman, but he's one of the best, if not the best, in baseball.
You can't argue with that.
No. He makes amazing trades, to your point. He does... He also has the artillery to pull off some of the signings, but he makes smart signings. If you look at all the major signings he's done, none of them have really been a complete disaster. You don't have any Cespedes type signings over there. You don't have any. Who's that guy that was in right field that went to Seattle, now he's with the Phillies? You don't have any of those type of signings.
Yep. The one. So, and maybe this is another piece to it. There's luck behind this also, because the Yankees go out and they trade for Stanton, which, by the way, Jeter helped out on.
Collusion.
Stanton has played what?
Collusion.
Stanton has played how many games this year? And the Yankees are 30 games over 500. Running away with the division. So that's another part. There's a lot of moving pieces to that topic. Very good topic, Joe. A lot of moving parts.
You know what's key?
I hate the Yankees.
I mean, every Met fan, if they're really being honest with themselves, are jealous of their success. But if you really want to, oh my God, what's his name? Oh crap. Anyway, as somebody says from the Breaking Bad show, Saul Goodman says, when you get down to brass tacks, it's about their bullpen. It's about their bullpen. Now they have the hitting. Their starting pitching is It's good, but it's not
better this year.
They're better this year, and it's good, but it's their bullpen. That's why they're so good, because once the bullpen comes in, it's hammer time. Don't
do that again.
They drop the hammer on the other team. It's done.
A reminder: the phone number is 718-577-1275. You can give us a call and potentially win one of these 3 Pete Alonso cards. We're trying to get rid of them. Give us a call.
Yeah, I mean, we were getting calls. Now nobody's calling. You guys scared? Call.
Ooh.
Hey, Steve.
Ooh.
Call.
Captain America.
Yeah, Cap.
Right here. Give us a call. Try and win one of these Pete Alonso cards. Just
Tops Now cards.
Tops Now. Just answer one of these trivia questions. The only part that irked me about Seinfeld was when George was working for the Yankees. Because at first it was Mets. The very first episode, spoiler alert, was Seinfeld getting home to watch the game that he recorded, and he answers the phone, says, "Hey, if you saw what happened in the Mets game, don't tell me I recorded it. Hello." And then, so this is 1989. And then in comes Kramer and says, "Man, the Mets really blew it today." So, and then it went. So the Mets got bad, and then that's when they went into the Yankee territory. And then towards the end of their run, if you watch some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, as they get towards the end of the run of the show, Mets started turning the corner, and George did everything in his power to get fired from the Yankees, including dragging the World Series championship from his car around the parking lot, in front of Steinbrenner's office, and then he got a job with the Mets, or he tried to get a job with the Mets.
So essentially, you're saying the show's writers are front runners.
Yeah.
Pick a side.
All right, let's talk about what's going to be happening starting tomorrow. We bring in the Buccos, the Pittsburgh Pirates. So that is a 3-game set. Tomorrow is going, I guess it's the last potential start for Zach Wheeler before the trade deadline.
We have no hope. We have no future. Who cares? Thanks, everybody, for watching.
You have a lot of emotion
I do.
invested in the starting pitching. And you're not looking at it with the cold, calculated look. The Yankees last time.
Hold on. Let me give the cold, calculated look.
You talked about Thor being somebody that it would break your heart to lose.
Mm-hmm.
He's pitching a full point over his career ERA at this point in the season. Okay? DeGrom is within .15. There's an argument to be made that Thor is at his highest value he's ever going to be right now. And he would be worth moving. Wheeler, Parache pointed out very well. Wheeler is probably one little flash in the pan, or potentially one little flash in the pan in the second half he had last season. He might be at his biggest potential right now. You can't be so emotional about these things. You got to try to let it go and think about what.
It's not emotion more than it's who's going to pitch next year if we don't have him.
Well,
you got to still
bring
replace
out
him.
Michael Kay.
Okay, then that replaces Wheeler. Oh, you son of a motherless goat! I'm gonna.
Wow, where's that from? Because I've used that for like my life. Where is that from?
Son of a motherless goat.
Yes,
I don't know. I must have seen it somewhere. I've been using it for a long time too.
I've been saying that since Brooklyn. I think.
Yeah, maybe it's a New York thing.
It could be.
I think it's what you say when you want to say a lot of other dirty words, but choose to say that instead. Like your mother's in the room, you don't want to get the food smacked out of your mouth. So yeah, no, it's not that. It's just who are we going to replace him with? We have Thor under control. So if and it's kind of what I was saying before. So if you have the guy under control, why do you want to get rid of him? Now Wheeler, he's not under control next year, and yeah, Anthony K is coming up behind him. So you can see, all right, well, we have somebody coming up who can kind of slide into that. But who's going to replace Thor? You're going to go out in a free agent market and replace him with somebody who's expensive when you already have this guy under control, and he's more than serviceable as a third or fourth starter, even with those stats.
But that goes into what I was saying before. Are you going to stand pat and just sell off these guys who are not going to get you anything back, or are you going to, if you're going to be a seller, and this is not that I want to trade Thor,
right?
But it's if you're going to be a seller, you got to think of what you can sell that's of value. And Thor by himself can bring back more than Frazier, Vargas, and Lagares all together. Now, if you want to
get about Lagares, but go ahead.
Now, if you want to get really silly, you can use a Thor to get something back and get rid of a bad contract too. So somebody who with that value. You can, and this is what the Mariners did with Diaz. They saw that the Mets wanted Diaz, so they said, okay, well, if you're going to do that, we're going to attach Cano to this. You're going to take on that contract. We'll take back Bruce and whatnot. Zach.
We took the short end of that deal.
Yeah, but my point is that you can do a lot of different things with Thor as the base to a potential trade than if you're trading Frazier and these guys.
Who you give us for Thor and Bobby Bonilla?
Who
Speaking
is
of buy bad contracts?
Who is I'll pay you for the rest of your life? What is Jared Klinick's stats this year so far in the minors? Is he doing good? But
I believe we can get that pulled up.
I think I kind of said that before too. Like and you too, right? We said if you get like $1.50, $2 on the dollar, of course, because you're making the team better. I just don't see a team paying that price. It could be because he's still under control for another year, but I don't see a team paying that kind of price for Thor, and I don't see how getting rid of Thor we could potentially make ourselves better anywhere in the nearer future in that particular spot in the rotation. That's kind of where I'm getting at. I think if somebody gives us $2 on the dollar for Thor, of course, you're making the team better. But if you're going to make the team better, I'm open to trade anybody, even Alonso. If you're going to take Alonso and give us 3 times the worth back, of course, take it. But that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So Jared Kalanick. Anyway, we'll get back to that as soon as producer Joe gets that up for us. I'm just kind of curious to see what he's doing right now in the Seattle. I mean, and I was excited about that kid. He looked like a real athlete. Doesn't mean it would translate to the majors, but he looked like a real athlete. And this year, and he played 82 games.
290.
He's batting 290 with 15 homers, 45 RBIs in it looks like a single A team, Modesto Nuts. So that's like a yeah.
Is it single A?
Their motto is a peanut with a hat on it.
Wasn't he in
Double? It could be.
It literally just says minors.
Modesto, and yeah, the Modesto Nuts on a single A team out there.
Huh.
And I've got some very creative pictures of myself with the nuts.
That's good. That's good stuff there.
Yes. So
Is he?
it's way too. I mean, we won't know.
With okay, I see what's going on there. Okay, so it's West Virginia. We got a call. All right, you are on the air. Welcome to the Put It in the Book show.
What's up, fellas?
Tim.
Where's the third member of the crew?
The third member in the crew is
Beltran.
Carlos Beltran for the day. No, Rodriguez is out on vacation this week.
Oh, nice.
He's actually up in New York.
Oh, that's cool.
We should wish his niece a congratulations.
Yes.
Rodriguez's niece is getting married today.
Congrats,
Congrats.
Rodriguez niece.
Mazel
I
tov.
hope you and the family having a good time up there. But right after that, Rodriguez is going to the How to Swing at a Pitch camp, starring Carlos Beltran.
No, don't say that kind of stuff. Tim, what's going on? How's it going? How's it hanging?
Let's go, fellas. Let's go. Honestly, I just turned you guys on, and I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah, you
A serious question,
you did
too.
turn us on.
Serious question, though. Don't answer me with all the ridiculousness now. Let's say they were going to trade someone to the Yankees. Who would you want in return? And don't give me like Judge, Torres, like all these guys in one shot. Seriously and honestly, who do you think they should give back in return for Thor?
Okay, now that I just threw up in my mouth a little bit, I can answer the question. Well,
it's not going to happen. There's no way it's going to happen. I'm just curious. Who do you think you should get in return?
I have to honestly say I need to get back to it. I don't know. I don't know enough about the minor league system of the Yankees. I theoretically would love some kind of top 20 pitching prospect and maybe somebody who could contribute immediately from the bullpen.
I read an article today, and there was some rumor, throwing stuff out there, and they talked about Clint Frazier and what's the infielder's name that got hurt? Was it Andahar?
Yeah.
Well, Frazier is, as much as I hate to admit it, he's done. They don't like his attitude. They don't like the way he carries himself now, and that really sucks because I really like the kid. And I'm hoping he does grow, but I think he's number one. He'll be gone. He'll be gone the next week. He's gone.
Yeah, I think so too. Because he's in the minors now, right? They
demoted him after that bonehead play in right field, and
yeah, and that's the problem. His outfield play is a little subpar.
Well, Well, he can hit like hell.
Yeah, but he can hit. And see, our problem, we have a lot of problems. But our two bigger problems this year is clearly, number one, the bullpen. And number two is our defense. So our defense has let our pitching staff down countless times. It's not even a question. It's just countless times. And so I don't know if the Mets would shy away from something like that because of the defense, because that's one of the areas that we need to improve upon. Yes, the hitting ability is absurd. It's there.
I think scouting would have a lot to do with that decision, because if the kid, look at Pete Alonso, his defense was listed as terrible.
Yeah.
Well, less than favorable.
Well, the
I won't say
difference is that
terrible.
we've seen Clint Frazier's defense in the majors.
We have, but maybe the Mets maybe their scouts would feel that it can be worked on, much like Alonso did. It depends on his work ethic, Frazier's work ethic, because if he's an athlete and he has a good work ethic, they can teach him to
No, he
be.
does have a good work ethic, and he wants to be here. He wants to be in the majors. He wants it. But like I said, he comes off as a kid sometimes, as a child. And, the Yankees are one of those organizations that, we're not going to put up with that crap no matter what. I knew he was done when they brought, what's his name, Kaufman back up. When they brought him up over Frazier, I was like, oh, there goes that. He's done. We won't be seeing him again in the Yankee uniform, probably.
Yeah, that's a Yankee thing too. The Yankees, and I get it, because that kid was having some emotional breakdowns, if I remember correctly, or at least one. But he's young.
He just might not be a New York guy. Another one of these guys.
Yeah, I was going to say that also.
It's possible.
Joe, can you bring that page back up with the Yankees? Yeah. So, and again, I'm not familiar with any of these guys, Tim, but is it Davy Garcia?
Yeah, well, he would know. You would have to give us more than 4 for him. They're all over that kid. They're talking about that kid like he's Jesus himself. So it would take a lot more than 4 to get that kid out of there.
All right.
Well, we'll give you
Bonilla.
we'll give you Bonilla's contract.
Nice. We'll take it as long as you take Ellsbury.
No. Oh yeah, at least, because that's not going to last to the year 2079. Bonilla, I heard Bonilla's.
Every deal I make, I throw Ellsbury in there. I just can't stand him.
I heard Bonilla's going into like cryogenics just to make sure he can live longer to continue collecting from the Mets. But yeah, I mean, like I said, hypothetically speaking, it would be something around strong, immediate.
2 guys, 3 guys, 4. How many guys do you think he would be?
It depends on the caliber of guys. Like if you threw a Clint Frazier in there, I would take one more bullpen arm that could, who can impact us in the next year or so.
Yeah, 2 to 3, and we'll tack on that Cano contract.
So this kid,
we don't want him back either.
This kid, Davy Garcia, is right now the number 1 organizational rookie.
They show his highlights in Yankee Stadium. That's how much they love him right now.
Okay, so you know what? Give us Clint Frazier and Luis Gil.
I don't know what that is, so you can have him.
Thanks. Luis Gil is a single A pitcher, so it's still a lot to be told, but he's pitching.
He's got electric stuff and has been lights out at single A with a 1.81 ERA, 73 strikeouts in 54 innings.
How old is he, single A?
That's a good question. I'm going to throw 19 out there.
Nice.
21.
I made that up.
That's electric.
But
I'm going to see your minor league team tomorrow up in Binghamton.
Oh, Binghamton. You're gonna go see Tebow.
Yeah, I'm gonna see Tebow tomorrow night, so I'll see if I can get a good picture of him for you.
Is it actually? I think the 7 line is up there tomorrow.
Oh, really? What are they doing
the Mets Traveler guys, right?
Yeah. I was actually listening to. This is the first time I ever listened to almost a full episode of their podcast.
It's not bad.
And it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
To get good guests because of their name.
Because of their name. But
what? What is Joe laughing at me?
I'm laughing at the team name.
The ticks. Oh, wow. Tampons.
Tampa
Wow.
Tarpons.
So
Tarpons.
the Yankees single A team was the Tampa Tampons.
And the Modesto Nuts.
No, the Modesto Nuts
No,
is
that's
Seattle.
That's the Mariners.
Oh, that's. Are you quite certain?
Yeah,
Yep.
because Kalanick went in that deal to Seattle.
Yeah, no, it's the Tampa Tarpons, but on the screen it looks a lot like Tampa Tampons. I'm still waiting for Tampax Stadium.
Tampax Stadium.
Anyway,
No, but I don't know if there's a giveaway. This whole week they said that they were jam packed. They were going to go to a Cyclones game and then up to Binghamton. I thought that they said Friday
cool.
night.
That's cool. They support the lower level teams.
yep.
Yeah.
So you might see them out there, Timmy.
Yeah, I don't think it was a giveaway. It was something weird though. It's fireworks night and something else. I forgot what I said, what it was, but yeah, we're gonna check. We got like a good discount on tickets. We're gonna get behind the plate, and yeah, let's go see Mr. Tebow.
Cool, man. Have a good time, brother.
Oh, that's what it was. Margarita night. Margarita night. I don't know what that means.
So
Give me on margaritas would be nice.
Take some pictures or a video and pop it onto the group. I'm sure everybody
I shall
will
do
enjoy
that.
that.
I shall do that for you and for you only.
how about for me?
What
the
a
hell?
great!
Oh, you as in the group.
Oh, thanks.
Tim's our favorite Yankee fan ever in life.
So Tim, let me flip that question back at you. What would you give us for Syndergaard? You give us Gill and Frazier?
I mean, at this point, I don't want to give up for. I love the kid. I really do. He's my favorite. Torres obviously was the best player we got out of that barrage of trades he made a few years ago. But I don't know, there's something about Frazier I really like. I got such a man crush on that dude. But if the Yankees are helping out getting rid of him, yes, I would give him to you because then I get to still see him play. That's from a selfish reason.
How would you feel about that trade?
As far as the other kid, the Gill kid, yeah, why not? You don't know. It's a 19-year-old, 21-year-old. That's a flip of a coin. If it was that two-player simple deal, yeah, well, I would definitely take that trade.
I still have a very hard time trading anybody to the Yankees.
Exactly, which is why it will never happen.
Right.
That's why I'm getting. I'm just being, hypothetical.
I get that, but if they're going to give us a top prospect pitcher and somebody who can be an immediate impact potential 30 home run guy.
But it's not. I think it's the Wilcox more than the Steinbrenners now. Because it was George who didn't want to deal with the Mets. I don't think Hal gives a crap.
Well, if Trump cuts Madoff's sentence down, then Wilpons will have more money, and we could just sign free agents and be like the Yankees.
And if Woody had gone straight to police, this never would have happened.
This never would have happened.
Yes.
That damn clockmaker.
Yes.
But yeah, it's tough. I don't want to give up Thor, and I gave a lot of reasons why. But if we're gonna turn a profit of an immediate guy who can be a year in year out 30 home run guy and a prospect pitcher who has the potential to be something special, you got to really think about it. That is something that can make us better. I think
you get way more than two guys though. Way more. I think they would ask for it. I think they might be willing to deal with the Yankees, but I think they'd be like, listen, we're not going to go cheap. If we're going to give him to you and possibly see him win a championship with your team, you're going to have to pay us a lot more than that.
I would rather see him go to the Yankees than the Dodgers. I hate the Dodgers more than I freaking hate the Dodgers.
No, I don't.
Traitorous. And they're not the Dodgers. No trolleys in Los Angeles. Change your name. Be the freaking Los Angeles scumbags. You're not the Dodgers. Yeah. I hate
Why are you so angry about the
Dodgers. I hate them.
Because they left Brooklyn?
That's a jersey I'd love to see.
You should be happy that they left Brooklyn because then we wouldn't have had our Mets. We wouldn't have high blood pressure.
I've always disliked them. I always disliked them. I did like Fernando Valenzuela and some of their players when I was a kid. But ever since that whole entire 88 series, I hate them.
Yeah.
I hate them. I just hate them. And I hate them. And then after I'm done hating them, I freaking hate them. I can't stand him. Gibson with his gimpy ass hitting a home run. The pine tar cheating crap. Out of here. You should have lost. You suck. I hate you, Dodgers. And on top of that, they're traitorous bastards. Screw you, Dodgers.
But the traitorous bastards is okay because
I'm adding to it because it makes me more angry.
But that brought us the Mets.
But I like being angry right now.
But would we be happier fans if we were Brooklyn Dodgers fans?
your point is completely relevant and actually it's accurate, but it's adding to my hatred and anger, and I just want to use it. So leave me alone.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
All right, Tim. We're gonna start getting this show boxed up here. We appreciate you calling. As always, I definitely look forward because I've clearly never been to Binghamton to see a game. So I'm looking forward to some of the pictures.
Yeah, I'll take some shots for you and set them up and put them on the page for you.
Cool.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Dodgers suck.
You got it, guys. Have a
And-
good show. Catch you later.
Hey, and Tim, we're gonna do a show. We're gonna do that show next week. Quick plug into Cinesportstalk.com. If any of you guys have ever heard of Watch Mojo, it's a YouTube series where they do countdowns and top 25, top 10, top 5, all that good stuff. So we're gonna kind of piggyback on them and kind of create a new series called CST versus Watch Mojo. And our very first installment of that is going to be the top 10 wrestlers of all time. And so they did.
I can't wait.
They did their top 10, so we're gonna do a show where we talk about how wrong or right they are. So that'll be at some point next week. We'll record that and get it uploaded.
I'm excited about
you'll
that.
have my list probably tonight. I'll probably send you my list.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, buddy.
We all know what number 1 is. But you just need 2 through 10.
Actually, and speaking of that, and I'm not going to say the name, but I'm probably going to give it away. So sorry, folks. But they're having a night for that person in Marlins Park.
In Marlins, really?
Yeah.
Well, he
think it's
did
tonight.
live there
What's it, man?
and die there.
Yeah. There's a guy. Yeah, he lived right up on the Tampa Tampons. But there's a guy. There's a guy that he dresses up as that wrestler.
Oh, he
they
works
call
for
him
the-
Macho Marlin Man.
he
Now I
works-
just totally give it away.
Yeah, he works for 790. It's Brendan Tobin.
Oh, that's Tobin?
Brendan Tobin.
Oh
yes.
my goodness.
Yep. Yeah,
But anyway, so they had a night. I don't know if 790 is like the WFAN ESPN version of South Florida. They said that there is a Macho Marlin Man night. I don't know, or Macho Man night.
It just started happening this year. He's just started doing it.
Yeah, I don't know if they're pumping up their own guy Tobin now that you say
Yeah.
that, or that's really a thing. But anyway,
Probably.
Did it happen yet, or it happened already?
I think it was supposed to happen tonight. I'll look up.
I need to find out what that giveaway is and go on eBay and just get one.
Well, knowing the Marlins, it's not going to be much.
Yeah, yeah.
I
No,
meant to tell you too. Real quick, in my house right now is sitting a Fusilli Jerry from the Boston from the Cyclones game.
wow.
Yes, I saw that when I was at the same game that you were at. They were promoting that with the
Yeah, my
Cyclones.
aunt.
Yes.
The same night I went to that game, but she goes, oh, do you want a bobblehead? I go, of what? She goes, yeah, I don't know, it's some kind of wacky sign something. I go, what the hell is it? It says Fusilli Jerry. I said, yes, I will
Fusilli
take
Jerry. Remember? And then George's dad falls on it and it goes up his butt.
One. I know it. So this is someone's ass. That's how this is famous. So I don't get that show. Like, all right, I'll take it.
Tim, did you see the Spider-Man bobblehead that I bought?
Yeah, that's an awesome bobblehead. That was awesome.
It was great. Worth every penny. All right. Joe, you want to play him out
Daddy
with
Warbucks.
his theme song?
Which will give away everything. I like it.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. All right, Timmy, we'll talk to you next week.
See you later, guys.
Take care,
Have a
brother.
good one.
You too, man.
All right.
Every time I hear that, Tim, I think of 125 graduation.
All right. Before we get to the Fuakata of the week, can you bring out the probables for this Pirate series? And we'll just run through that real quick. A little short on time here. So Zach Wheeler, it is going to be probably his final start as a Met. Just making that, throwing that out there. He faces a guy named Dario Agrizal. He of the 2-0 record, a 2.25 ERA. Game 2 is Matt's 4.75 ERA versus Trevor Williams, a 4.96 ERA. And then in the finale of that series, once upon a time, Chris Archer was perennial Cy Young Award candidate with Tampa. Had a couple injuries the last couple of years, and now he's 3-7 with a 5.4.
Is that what it is? He had injuries? What, shoulder?
Versus
elbow?
his Vargas.
Varg Ace.
Our second ace on the staff, Jason Vargas. He is 5-5 at 3.96 ERA, and that ends that series. Then we head to. We head to Chicago? Yeah, it's in Chicago, the White Sox series. That is Thor will pitch that very first game.
Maybe.
Yeah, depends on how aggressive the Mets are. To be determined for the rest of that series. So let's go real quick round robin. The Pirates series. What's your prediction, Keith?
Oh crap! 2-1.
What?
Because it's just I'm defeated, bro. But 2-1.
2-1. The Pirates are what? 46-56. We're at home. I say 2-1. Producer Joe, what do you got?
2-1.
2-1. What's that? Is the White Sox series a 3-game set or a 2-game set? I think it is a.
Looks like a 3-game set.
Yep, 3 games.
Yeah, 3-game set. So, and the White Sox record is 45-54.
That series will transition us from the end to the other side of the trade deadline.
Yep. So, what do you think?
What's their record right now? I'm gonna say 2-1, and I know I'm giving us all these series wins, but we haven't been playing terrible.
No.
Aside from.
No, I'll go 2-1 also on that one. Producer Joe.
1-2.
1-2 versus the White Sox.
Yeah,
that's true. On the road, we're.
You know what? We love to think we're better than we are. We're not.
We always do. Well, that's what Mets fans being all about.
Yeah, we love it. We love to do it.
Come get us.
Realistic. We go 3-3 over the next week. We should all be very happy.
I think we're gonna sweep the Pirates and become buyers and not sellers.
Because everybody else in front of us will lose 3 in a row also.
Right.
And we will be 5 games out with 2 months to go.
Which is where we were last week. And then
and what does that mean? It's
that
cyclical.
It's cyclical. That means we'll do the old-fashioned, you got your hopes up, and we're going to suck again, because that's who we are.
We're going to come get them.
Brody.
Don't get to your fuckata.
I was pondering a whole lot of Flocka.
Kyle, get out of here. Leave. Can we boot him out somehow?
Okay, so actually, it's settled, and I just changed it last minute. It's going to be 2-fold Flocka.
2-fold.
And it's going to be all within 1. 2 in 1. So I'm going to Flocka Kyle and the Dodgers. Just because I went on a Dodger rant tonight, it's not even what I was going to Flocka, but Kyle and you crap talking and the Dodgers. I want to wish the Dodgers the very best year. Hope you have the best record in the National League so you can blow it again. Flocka, you ain't winning the World Series. You'll make it there again. I hope you do. And I hope you get freaking swept. Because you guys are the Buffalo Bills of baseball. You suck. You trolley dodging sucking punk.
All right, that'll wrap it up for this week. We will be back here next week, same time. And the Wolfpack this week has gone from 4 to 3. Next week, the Wolfpack shrinks from 3 to 2. So Rodriguez will be still on vacation next week. We lose producer Joe. He's going to the most disgusting city in America. He's headed to Philadelphia,
where Brian Harm
sucks.
Exactly. So next week, unfortunately or fortunately,
hopefully we get Rodriguez to call in next week. Maybe he can.
Yeah, maybe you can call in, and it'll be Keith and myself. Maybe we'll get a producer Joe call in. Maybe we'll get a Rodriguez call in.
I want that Pete Alonso cut.
What? All right. So for myself, for producer Joe and Keith to my left, and
Dodgers suck.
Rodriguez, who doesn't like to swing the bat. We will talk to you next week. We appreciate you listening. Follow us all over social media, all that good stuff. The Put in the Books show on the fan page, at Cine Sports Talk on Snapchat as well as YouTube, and at the PIITB show on both Twitter and Instagram.
Kyle, sorry, Kyle, and that's a funny. Yes.
What is holy moly?
I don't know, but it's 60. I don't know. 60.
Yes, go Giants, go Knicks, go Rangers, and we'll show you one day the rest of this wall. I think you might have seen it. Mets, Giants, Knicks, Rangers. Right here in Studio 5. We'll talk to you next week. Later.
Dodgers suck.
Second.